but that's also...
Drugs bad, kids.
That's drugs are bad, okay?
Right. Pay attention in health class.
Pay attention. How many years of health did you have to take?
Every year.
Yeah. Ah, man. Alright, so... Let me go ahead and update the starboard to show that Sasquatch is indeed off to a 1-0 lead. Oh, that was awesome. Alright.
Reserve my giggles, sorry.
Sasquatch spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Entomb Valley as the pink circler.
And in the upper left-hand corner of our map, lost the first game. Can he come back in this series? It is Yoigen.
Yep.
Alright. So Yoigen down 1-0. This is still just a best of 3. The finals will be a best of 5. And for those of you just tuning in, this is the Raptr Community Heart of the Swarm Tournament. Every single person participating in this tournament is a member of the Raptr community. And if you want to be a member of the Raptr community too, go to the website raptr.com. You can sign up with an account for just an email address. That's all you need. Enter your name and an email address. You do have to, of course, think of something creative to use as your username.
Yes.
No boring names allowed. That's one of the stipulations there.
Nope.
But other than that, if you are into playing video games, then let me tell you, Raptr's the place for you to be. They have a treasure trove of video games that you can be rewarded for playing. Yes, the more hours that you clock, the more rewarded you get for those hours, and you can win prizes. You can interact with other players who play these games almost as frequently as you. You may be shocked to see that people play games more than you as well, perhaps. But there's a lot of I like websites that are driven by data, and Raptr is certainly a website that's driven by data and just content. There's so much content that you can work with there. You can interact with other community members through comment sections, and you can basically just, build your friend base, build your esports video game friend base.
It's a pretty cool thing. And I mean, there's absolutely no obligation, so why the heck aren't you joining right now? Why?
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you join, you are potentially going to be in the running to win later in this broadcast a Logitech gaming mouse.
Yep.
As long as you have your Raptr profile and you're ready to paste it in the chat at a given point later, you will have an opportunity to win. And our two players here are now going to be vying for an Astro Gaming A40 headset. The winner of this series will be in our finals, will be the #1 winner. He may not be the winner of the whole tournament, but he will be the #1 winner who will emerge. And yeah, we'll have not only a Logitech G400 mouse to his name, also an A40 Astro Gaming headset. Totally sick.
Yeah. I do need a replacement for my A30s. I was considering participating in this, but I decided to cast instead.
You would have won, Panda, don't worry. It would have been all.
I can play that card.
With no Widow Mines.
Absolutely. I don't use Widow Mines, man. They're broken. Oh, snap. Alright, so 2 Zerglings being taken out in the middle of the map. This is not only denying a scout, but he will be able to do his patented marine poke. With the SCV actually running by.
We saw this from him yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah. SCV is actually not going to be a bit behind. He needs to be careful it doesn't lose a marine there.
Great micro.
Here comes the SCV. Nice.
Really great micro.
Oh, and even getting a drone pull out of it. Unfortunately, he does lose that marine. He does see both gas. Let's see. Oh no, he only catches one more. So this is actually going to be the same exact frickin' push. And I would not be surprised if he transitions the same way, because that push is very, very strong. And the Muta follow-up is still pretty good on Entombed. I mean, you have a large distance between the bases. Hellions, they're going to be largely mitigated considering the fact that their rocks are here. He has 2 queens already creep spreading up. And this lone little ramp here, you can just hold the high ground with some queens. How hard is that?
Not hard at all.
Not hard at all.
We saw just a handful of queens, 2 queens without a spine crawler, handle, what was it, 6 Hellions last game trying to run by? So as long as Sasquatch has got a couple of buildings here placed, most likely Evo Chambers, alright, he's going to preemptively throw down a spine crawl in anticipation of some type of pressure, and oh my gosh, look at that creep spread. This is going to get real goopy real quick on the map.
Yeah.
Layer 2, very, very quickly. Yeah, so...
This may actually be, I don't know, some sort of either bird infestor play or mutas. Could be storm host too, but I'm definitely counting them out because Sasquatch.
Yeah.
He don't like the storm host, man.
That was a Wings of Liberty game last game that we saw.
Yeah, that was. I've been casting Wings of Liberty this entire tournament for the most part.
Hellion Banshee opening against a Roach Pressure into a Mutiling follow-up.
I just want someone to abuse the living crap out of one of these races. Like, see, like 2-star Port Oracle or something in a PvZ.
Yeah, with the Mass Void Rays, with that pumped-up attack.
Yeah.
That was crazy to watch. And the Thors yesterday were crazy to watch. That was the army that Yoigen seemed to favor, was that very large mech army. And he did go 2 armors last game, too, so mech may have been on the agenda.
It's going to be a Spire again, and...
That's a quick...
I don't know. Yeah, this is a ridiculously fast Spire. He's actually going double E-base, so this is gonna, or double Evo Chambers following this up too, so this is going to be the exact same transition, albeit just skipping the Roach.
It's like entrance to the Royal Zerg Palace, lined by 2 Evolution Chambers and a giraffe's neck.
I don't even know what a Spine Crawler would liken to in the real world. This could be just like literally a fast forward of time here. We could be looking at like 2400. StarCraft actually got it right.
Again, gonna push away these Hellions and take one down in the process.
Yeah. So here is the Banshee that will do very little damage unless Sasquatch just is really faulty and holding this again. I mean, the Spire's done, the Mutas are going to pop. The Banshee has free roam terrain for a little bit, but there's already an Overseer been morphed. But there are actually Widow Mines, and he's playing this out a lot more defensively. I really like this. He's not like making overt risks that he doesn't necessarily need to. And here comes the Cloak Banshee. It will get us... Oh wow, already 5 kills. Nice.
He's been pretty good with the Banshees. We saw Yoigen using these in TBT yesterday as well. Oh, he's gonna get out!
Damn. So, oh, that was like the most anticlimactic moment I've ever seen in StarCraft 2.
Did it just die?
Yeah, it just died.
Well, Yoigen did scan the main as he was leaving, saw the Spire, so knows I need to get turrets and I need to get Thors, dropping down a ton of turrets. And he's got the Widow Mines preemptively here at his natural to defend against potential Muta run-ins.
Yeah, he already has a third. Okay. So, I mean, that's like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I already have a third. I don't need to be concerned about where I'm spending my minerals. I know that I'm probably going to be ahead of my opponent because he's committed to this ridiculously early tech. So as long as I don't take damage from this, I'm okay. 600 minerals, think of it as an investment in the long term. He actually might lose a couple depots here. He really doesn't have anything to contest this. Might be able to unburrow the Widow Mines and try and get a shot off on these Mutas. They are quite clumped at the moment.
There's a couple of Widow Mines in the main base. Now they're going to move down the ramp.
Oh, and there are a bunch of Banelings morphing in here, so Sasquatch just wants to end this. He saw the third base. He knows what's up. And Yoigen is actually supply blocked at the moment, but army-wise, if we take a look, 8 Hellions, 1 Banshee, and a Thor up against 11 Lings.
Oh,
all these Mutas.
The Widow Mines on!
Holy crap, that was
just killed everything.
Completely one-sided. The Lings try and get us around, but they don't even want it anymore. They don't want to die. I didn't sign up for this. Maybe they did.
I love the smaller Thor.
Yeah, I know, right? I thought, when I read the patch notes, I legitimately thought that they were compensating on the buff by making the Thor model larger. Like, so that you couldn't get as many on the field at the same time, like, in an engagement.
Yeah.
But no, they actually made it smaller.
Yeah, they made it a little easier to use them.
Yeah. I've been going just mass Thors and TVP, and it's kind of fun, not gonna lie.
Is Yoigen faking that he has a third base? Okay. No, he intended to move his third base over.
He just didn't. Oh, that's one of those awkward moments.
Factories.
Yeah, he's going up to 5 factories. I mean, this is going to be... Yoigen has survived. Like, we will see what could possibly rival Quackers versus Yoigen. With more bases. I mean, this is in Toon Valley, after all. Currently, I mean, the Terran player's taken a lead, and considering he's 10 workers down, that's around a good 20 supply lead in the army.
If Sasquatch does have his 5th and 6th gases taken, but he has not put drones in them yet. The 5th base is scattered out by his Hellions, and they gotta be very careful. Well, I guess he can actually trade minerals at this point pretty freely.
Yeah, totally.
And just getting that information of the additional base lets him know, okay, I need to start really thinking about when I'm going to be pushing out. And with that +1 finishing up, I'd love to see him move immediately into +2. Blue Flame is about to finish for Yoigen, and I mean, Sasquatch has got a macro hatch. His man, I'm looking at his larva count right now. He's only got 11 on the field, but his income is a little bit lower than the Terran right now. This is cause for concern, Panda.
Mules, man. He has 6 mules at his third. I don't think this is going to be cause for concern for a little bit less than a minute in game. That'll be cool.
Okay. Okay.
But still, it's something he has to consider in the long game. I mean, his opponent is getting a ridiculous amount of factories off of... I mean, he's going up to 6 factories. This is most likely going to be a 3-base push here. He does not want Sasquatch to bring this to the late game. He just wants to end it, take advantage of earlier holding that push off. He knows his opponent's tech is delayed. I mean, when you go for, like, all that gas investment into mutas and banelings, it's a 15-minute higher. Since when... Hive. Wow. Higher. Layers. Hive. Since when does Sasquatch get a 15-minute hive? He always goes for like 11, 12-minute hives.
He's moving into he's moving into mostly infestor composition now too, because he's completely abandoned the muta option. Knowing that his opponent's going mech, I think getting the Broodlords is going to become his new objective. And I think if he's able to get some Vipers out too, the cloud is really going to help out.
It's retardedly imbalanced. So we'll see if Sasquatch makes use of that. This may be Yoigen's like little window, though. I mean, Sasquatch, he doesn't have much experience playing Heart of the Swarm, so he may not know how useful the Viper is against mech. We have a large amount of infested Terran coming over here to the third base, but how many SCVs? Yeah, I mean,
didn't kill anything.
Didn't kill anything with that. That was a huge waste of energy, and the infestors died too. Oh no, never mind. Infestors lived.
They got across, but it's kind of odd to see a Terran player going mech with
and here's a counter.
Zerg. Yeah, and
he just used a bunch of infested energy.
The one infested with fungals may go down here. He's going to use infested Terrans regardless, but there's a lot of roaches on the field, and mass roaches can counter mech. But I don't know if he's got enough. He does have good upgrades, though. +2 attack is on those roaches compared to the 1-0 upgrades from Yoigen, but Yoigen is going to push back. Thors are going to be too strong.
Yeah, it wasn't the best engagement there from the Terran to start, but ended up being pretty well off.
He's got a few in explosive payload, a few in high impact payload.
Yeah, I like that balance. There aren't actually any Broodlords on the field. I think that that's what he's kind of compensating for. Or he may just be sniping the Overlords, which would be pretty cool.
I can imagine Thors being much more useful against Broodlords with that high impact or explosive payload.
Yeah, I have yet to see just like a straight up Broodlord versus Thor engagement. I've seen Thor versus BC that ended up working out, kind of favoring the Thors, which is disturbing.
That is a little disturbing.
Yeah. Actually, really good engagement here from Sasquatch. He just doesn't have the infested energy to grant any additional DPS.
These Thors +2 did kick in. I mean, roaches are falling. There's a good line of tanks, but they're just a little too spread out, and they're not all hitting the same targets at once. The roaches will move forward, and that whole mech army is going to get cleaned up.
Here come a couple more Widow Mines, though.
Boom!
Only one does go off, though, so...
Weird.
Sasquatch can totally thank his lucky stars that the remaining 2 didn't go off, because he would have lost a good 10 more supply of roaches.
Alright, a couple Hellbats morphed to protect these tanks in the middle as well.
I really like this. I think that this is what's going to change mech in TVZ. Like, being able to reproduce on Widow Mines to be able to defend any counter push. Because your opponent, I mean, you have to have detection up. You have to be really careful about spreading your units in case you miss one. Whereas, like, in Wings of Liberty, we just see, literally, the Zerg crossing the map instantly and just killing an opponent if the mech push fails.
Yeah, and the Zergs have a lot more ways to surprise the Terran. I mean, they have burrowed units that can pop out of nowhere. Burrowed infestors that throw stuff. Like infested Terrans around planetary fortresses. They have burrowed banelings that can affect you. But now with the Widow Mines making an appearance, they can actually cause a little bit of havoc.
Yeah. And we do have yet another Hellion run by here into the 5th base. Oh, and he's going to be able to get all of these drones. The Queens are out of position right now, trying to walk on up there. Meanwhile, the 4th base of Yoigen does actually survive.
Yep.
He is sitting at a severe supply disadvantage, though, and his opponent is getting Broodlords. Which I've heard are pretty good.
Yeah, they're not bad. He's got, I mean, Sasquatch has got Kite in his plating on the way too, so even if he fails with the Broodlords somehow, he's still going to be able to follow up with Vultureless. His 5 bases are now humming. I mean, the 5th base was just assaulted ever so slightly there, but his natural should be finishing up its mining life in a few minutes here, so likely be transferring drones over and just continuing his economic prowess in this game.
Yeah, sitting at 95 drones right now. I feel like this is his EVP. The next thing we're going to see is like 13, 20 spines pop up in the middle of the map.
Yeah, and he's still got a larger army supply than the Terran player, who is producing off of tons of factories still, and got a couple of starports in the back, 3 in total on the map. But it looks like he wants to make Ravens.
He just doesn't have the gas to do it. The Ravens, the Seeker Missile is a very good single-target nuke against Broodlords, but Sasquatch is pushing across the map. He has 5 Broodlords and a fair amount of Infestors with a bunch of energy. This is going to be very, very difficult to hold here from Yoigen.
With no AA? I mean, maybe he thinks he's got doors somewhere on the map. I don't know if he forgot about the Broodlord. He hasn't scouted or scanned his opponent in a long time, and here we go. There's the big reveal. Can the Widow Mines handle him? Nope, they're going to go off on Broodlings.
Yeah. If he had that Drilling Claws upgrade, yes, Widow Mines would definitely pose quite a big threat. We might actually see him even unburrow some of these ones, position back in his 4th base, and move them up, but the Broodlords are just wrecking what the Terran has here. There's no anti-air to deal with them.
A couple of decent tank fires.
Oh my gosh, these 2 Widow Mines, though. They could net themselves quite a few Infestor kills.
He scans, though. He's got to scan. But oh my gosh, Overseer's
that
coming
was
just in
insane,
the nick of time.
Yeah.
And I mean, Yoigen's back up on top of the range, going to throw a point defense drone down, but there's just too many Corruptors, too many Hydras. Sasquatch's got a very impressive unit composition right now, and a ton of Infestors to boot. So not only is he coming with the power right in the face with Brutal Corruptor, but he's got Spellcasters here that are going to have energy that can just reuse and reuse and reuse. He's not even using Fungal at this point, just taking everything down.
Take a look at the production tab, too. 7 Ultralisks.
Oh, man.
With +3 melee on the way. Chitinous Plating is already finished, I believe. And this is going to be temporarily the end of Yoigen. So he will find himself in the loser's bracket. That does not mean that he's out of this tournament yet, though.